Diep.io is a simple browser game. You start with a small tank, you shoot other players to grow, and every time you go level up, you choose what to make better. Faster shooting, stronger bullets, or thicker armor. In the end, your tank can destroy everything around it. I played this game for hours. At first, I was sure that the game is about aiming. I thought the best shooter win, but that is not enough. How do you know when to attack? Who do you leave alone and who do you finish? What do you upgrade to beat everyone around you? No guide will tell you that. So I decided to build a neural network. When I started to think about it, I understood one thing. This is not one weekend job. I did the maths. To train this neural network that really understands this whole game, you need between a few hundreds and a few thousand years of playing. Maybe you think that is a lot of time, but in the world of artificial intelligence, this is very short. OpenAI trained a network for Dota 2, it played against itself for 45,000 years before it beat the world champions. In diep.io every round is different, every enemy has a different plans, and there are 48 tanks you can play. Each tank grows through 8 different stats, and you can put your points where you want. These points alone give 767,000 different versions of one tank. Times 48 tanks, that is almost 37 million combination, and the network must know how to play all of them. But on the other side there's usually not the same tank as yours, so it's not 37 million situation, it's every one of them against every other one. That is more than a million billion fights, and that number is only for 1 against 1. A real game doesn't look like this. There can be 4 enemies on the screen at the same time, each one a different tank with different upgrades. A boss can come and change everything in a few seconds. The network must know that it can hide behind a block and that it can push someone into that block. And sometimes there is no good answer and you must choose. Do I take the bullets from the left or from the right side? You take the one that hurt less. You cannot write all of the situation down. There's an endless number of them. And this is still not everything. Some of the bullets follow you and there can be a ton of them on the screen. The network must understand more than they are coming to me. It must understand their physics well enough to pull them behind it and take them straight into an enemy. But let's go back to my first idea. I took the data out of the game, made a party and put 2 of my account in the one sandbox to play against each other. The same network on the both sides. The winner teaches the loser. The loser gets better for the next round. A simple idea, and in theory everything was fine. In practice, this game was quite well protected against things like this. Windows kept popping up after a few hours of playing. The website simply threw me off of the server and did not let me come back. With 2 or 3 accounts at the same time, the game was loading forever, and sometimes the join button just disappeared because the servers were full. This looks like a big problem, but none of them was the most important one. The best I could do was 20 accounts playing at the same time. And with 20 accounts I got about 200 samples per second. So 200 times per second the network could make a decision and see what happened after it. It sounds like a lot, but it was very little. Learning was terribly slow. After some time the network learned the simplest thing in this game, that must point the gun at the enemy, and that was all. When a different type of tank came, it died. A new player would destroy it without thinking. So I thought, if the sandbox gives me nothing, I will put it into a normal game. There are real enemies and real situation there. After a few hours, it has 0 kills. And the problem was not that it was losing, it was that it was not learning at all, because it could not understand one situation before the next one came. On the screen there was pure chaos, and normally I would stop the project here, because this was the ceiling. Everything you can get from this game is a network that can point a gun and sometimes not drive into a block. Not because the algorithm was bad, because a network like this needs billions of tries, and the game game gave me 200 per second. You cannot fix this with patience. This episode would not exist if I did not find a project on GitHub. Someone wrote this whole game again. Not one-to-one, the same mechanics, the same physics, the same balance. There was things in it that I didn't even know about, and I played this game for hours. And this changed absolutely everything, because now I was the server. I could put there a few hundred bots on the map instead of 2. Nobody threw me out, there were no windows, no full server, no limit of account. I could open as many simulation as my RAM could hold, and each one of them could run 64 times faster than the normal game. And when I filled the memory to the end, maps full of the bots, each one 64 times faster, then something really interesting started to happen, because it turned out that this network does not need thousands of years. In a simulation like this, it needs only a few minutes to start playing quite well. But before I say what came out of it, I must explain one rule that I wrote. The bots lost point for time. For every second in the game, they lost points. I wanted standing in one place to cost something, because if doing nothing is free, the network learned very quickly that the safest things to do is nothing. The effect was exactly what I wanted. Every bot wanted to find a fight as fast as possible. Not to survive, not to farm, to find someone and finish it now, because every second cost. But the map was very big and everything on it was far from everything else. The bots started in the random place and could drive for a very long time without meeting anybody. And every second like this was pure loss. And then I saw something I did not expect at all. All of the bots started to drive to the top right corner. First it was just most of them, then almost every single bot on my server. All of them in one corner of the map, because this grows by itself. If every bot is looking for a fight, then the best place on the map is where other bots already are. And because all of the bots are exactly the same network, they all get to the same idea in the same second. The more bots are there, the better it is to go there. And it goes on and on until there is only one place on the whole map where everything happened. I could stop it, but I didn't want it, because nobody told them to do this. Nobody wrote a single line about corners, about meeting together, and about where to drive. The network found out by itself that everybody wants to fight. The most stupid things you can do is to fight alone. And because all of the bots were sitting in one corner, the network was learning only one situation, a big fight of many tanks next to a wall. It never learned a one against one duel. It never learned to run after somebody. It never learned to run away in some open space, because there was no open space there. And this is why in the end I built these 50 small areas in a small sandbox. Not so that the bots have somebody to fight, because they already did that themselves, but so that they can fight in a different condition every time. So they will learning on a big open map and in a sandbox with a one against one. In the end the training went very well. The network that I have now plays more or less like a human. Not a master, not somebody from the top 10 of the table, but a normal players who know what they are doing. It shoots in the front of the moving target, it keeps distance from tanks that are stronger against it, and it goes back before it dies. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you would like to download this AI, you can find a link in the description.